Hey y'all, God bless you. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to make this delicious Chocoflan. So let's go ahead and get started with what you'll need. You're gonna need 1 cup of cajeta. I use this kind right here. You could also make your own from sugar if you'd like. A 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. A 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. 3/4 of a cup of regular milk. 6 eggs, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, 1/3 of a cup of cornstarch, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of vegetable oil, and butter for greasing. Now let's go ahead and get into the recipe. First, you want to start out by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. And we're going to start by making the flan mixture. So we're going to put the can of evaporated milk into a bowl. Next, we're going to add 4 eggs. And then we're going to take the sweetened condensed milk and pour that all in as well. And then you're going to go ahead and just add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And then you're going to want to grab a whisk and just mix all of that until all of the eggs and the milk is blended together. So you don't see no more eggs till everything is mixed well. Then you're going to take your butter. And for me, a lot of times my hands are my best tools. So I just take the softened butter and I go ahead and grease all over the pan. This is just going to keep from anything sticking to it. And then I take the cajeta and I put 1 cup all around the pan. You could totally make your own caramel sauce if you like. I just did it this way because it was a lot easier. And then we're going to pour our egg mixture on top. And next I have here, I have this giant pan I filled with water. And then I put my bundt pan in the center of it. This is just going to be a water bath, and it's what's going to help cook the flan. I added more water because you want the water to be about 1 inch high. And then you're going to go ahead and put that into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. So now we're going to start on our cake mixture. I've added my flour and my sugar. Here's my cornstarch and my cocoa powder. And I'm putting it through this strainer just to sift everything together. Right there I added the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And I just go and sift everything together. That's just going to make sure that you have a smooth cake texture. Next, I add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I go ahead and add in the milk. And next I'm adding in the vegetable oil. And then I go ahead and mix all of that together. And here I take my eggs and I add them in one at a time. So I drop an egg and then I mix it really well. And then I'll go ahead and add the other egg. And then at this point, you just want to make sure that your cake batter is well mixed. Everything is all combined. You don't see any lumps. And all the egg is blended in well. So here I take my flan out. Be very careful because, as you can see, that water is extremely hot. And then we're gonna lower the temperature on the oven to 350 degrees. And next we're gonna carefully pour the cake batter over the flan. And then at this point, you want to grab a piece of foil and cover your bundt pan. You want to make sure that it's covered well. And then once you have the foil on, you're gonna put this back in the oven and it's gonna bake for about 55 minutes to an hour. So once your cake has baked for the amount of time, you wanna take a toothpick and put it toward the center of the cake. And if the toothpick comes out clean, then your cake is all done. If you still have cake on the toothpick, you wanna put it in for a couple more minutes and then recheck with another toothpick. But as long as the toothpick is clean, you are good to go. So now we're ready to invert the pan. You want to make sure that you let your flan cool. That was my mistake here. I waited about 30 minutes before I flipped it, but I would recommend waiting a lot longer than that. Because as you can see here, it was really tricky to get out. The cake part came out first. This is real life, y'all. This is real life. I was so annoyed, but then you see the flan, how it came out. I would recommend just waiting, you know, at least an hour or so if you have the time to wait till it firms up a little more, because here it was still hot. So that's why it was really tricky to come out. So here is the flan. And then I tried to cut a piece and it fell over. So that's why there's like cake crumbs over that piece of flan. But nonetheless, it still came out really good. As you can see, it's really hard to manage just because it's still so warm. So I would recommend waiting.
Trying out my wife's Chocoflan. It's really good. Chacho, qué rico.
Stop. It's good?
Yeah, baby.
2 thumbs up?